In today's episode, George asks, which equipment exactly do you use to videotape your speeches? I see you bring a tripod with both video and audio recorders. So, I get asked this question a lot, and the equipment list does change over time. So, this is the mid-2019 loadout. If you are watching this and it is after, say, like it's like 2020, check my blog in case there's a newer list. You can see that at christopherspenn.com. So, today's loadout these days is focused on adaptability to many different venues and changing circumstances because you never know what you're going to get. So to begin with, this is the Ultra Pod 2 tripod, and I like this tripod for a couple of reasons. It's easy, it folds out, right? It's a little tabletop tripod. But what's critical is this little Velcro strap and this leg. This means you can strap it to like a chair, to a pylon, something like that, and just zip it on, tie it onto whatever. If it's a taller vertical surface, if you go to some venues and there's like a lighting stand, a lighting tree, or a microphone, speaker tree, with permission from the AV guys, you can clip this right on. The other thing that's nice about this is this strap allows you to mount a power pack. So one of the things, of course, you should be carrying is these power packs. But what I like to do is attach these little smartphone holders, right, to the power pack, not to my phone, because this allows you to tuck this onto your belt and wear it as a portable power pack. Or, if you're using camera gear that requires a lot of power, feed the power pack right through this little strap on the tripod, and now you've got your power pack with your tripod, which is super handy for keeping things wired up. My camera of choice these days for recording talks is the DJI Osmo Pocket. This is a tiny little mechanically stabilized gimbal camera. It records in 4K, 60 frames per second. If you want that high, that's a lot of disk space. You'll lose disk space very quickly. There is, of course, I carry a 64 gigabyte card. It has to be a Class 10 micro SD card or faster. This camera chews up bandwidth like crazy, and a slower Class 4 card, for example, will not keep up. The camera will actually error out. I like this camera for a couple reasons. It's motion stabilized, so if you look here, I'm going to turn this on and bring this up close here. I can move around, and you can see that the head is sort of tracking and staying in one place even as I move it. That's handy. But what's really nice about it is it's got face tracking built in. So what I'll do is I'll set this up on a tripod, and it will track my face, which when I'm speaking is exactly what I want. I want the camera to follow me while I'm on stage. Now, in order to make this, which has no camera tripod mount, work with this, you need to have the Skyreach tripod. The Skyreach tripod is nothing more than a metal and it is mostly metal clamp. Right, it looks like this. There's the spot for the DJI Osmo here, and then there's a spot for the smartphone here. This has the 1/4-inch screw it right into the bottom, and you're good. And there's a cold shoe up top. The cold shoe allows you to mount additional accessories. What I like to do, again, for adaptability is I have two of these mini ball head tripod mounts. These guys are, I think, like $6 on Amazon for a pack of two. The mini ball head, one goes on the bottom, right? So this goes right into the bottom of this little guy. And this will allow you to have a lot of flexibility with mounting. So one of the things that you'll run into when you're doing video on the road is you'll run into, again, rapidly changing circumstances. This I like to keep on here so that if I need to mount something at a very strange angle, like, if there's I've actually mounted on the side of a folding chair where this has been like this, and then with the ball head and this clip here, I can move this frame around very easily and keep it at the angle I want it. The second ball head goes with the cold shoe up top. That goes onto here. This allows me to mount additional accessories right on top of the tripod, which is very, very handy. One of the accessories, one of the ones I think is probably most important, is you have an LED light. LED light can go either into the cold shoe directly or through the tripod mount. Very handy. The other thing I carry is the Tascam DR05 audio recorder. This would not be my first choice if I bought this again. And the reason for that is there's no XLR. This is audio. This is a 3.5 millimeter jack in only. The missing XLR piece is critical. I've run into probably like half a dozen soundboards where they're like, "Yeah, you got an XLR cable?" I'm like, "No," and I was not able to record off the board. That said, with the cold shoe, it is very handy. You can go right into the top of the cold shoe on your tripod here, and then This, because it does have a 1/4-inch mount on the bottom, you can go on top here, mount it on top of the cold shoe, and get you stereo audio from the room. That's not as good as the board, right? So if you can record straight off the board, you should. I always make sure I have a little bag connector here with as many possible connectors as I can stuff into the thing. One that is useful is the Amperage shotgun mic. If you are in a consistent place, you can actually mount the Amperage on top of this guy and do a little shotgun like that. It's okay. Again, still not as good as the board. The other thing I will do is I have a head-worn microphone, a wireless headphone microphone from KimaFun. This has the headpiece here, and you actually saw me use this in a lot of my early You Ask, I Answer videos. I stopped using this for daily videos because it's a lot of wiring just for one thing, and you need to make sure that both these parts are charged. When I use the Yeti here at home, I don't have to worry about that. This end here has your standard 3.5 millimeter jack. This can go right into the Tascam up top, and now you're recording. This can go on the podium when you're speaking. It's got about, I would say, a 10-foot range before you run into issues with interference. It says 50 feet on Amazon. It's not 50 feet. The other thing, you can just tuck this whole thing in your pocket or belt or bag or whatever on stage and be able to record locally. I am probably going to at some point upgrade to a wired lavalier mic that will, again, go right into the top of this guy just for convenience, because the head-worn stuff is an awful lot. So we got the audio recorder, we got the head-worn mic, tripod mounts, ball adapters, power packs, tripod attachments, and things like that. The last piece is this. This is my little secret weapon here. This is a mic stand to tripod adapter. This goes from 5/8-inch microphones stands to 1/4-inch tripod. Almost every major venue you speak at, conference center, places like that, they got extra microphone stands. You know, good old-fashioned microphone stands. Well, guess what? Take this ball head off the bottom of your tabletop, right? This guy goes on here, and now you mount this on a microphone stand. The advantage of the microphone stand is you can move it around, position it, you know, put it next to an audience member, put it in. I like to put it right in front of the mic for Q&A. If they have mics set up for Q&A in the aisles, you can put this right in front of that so that it's not a fire hazard. But that means you can use the venue's mic stand. The mic stands can extend up to like 6.5, 7 feet tall, which gives you a much better shot with this than on a tabletop where you're shooting sort of, you know, up your nose. This can give you eye level or possibly higher depending on the microphone stand. I was at Macon in Cleveland, and the audio video team had mic stands with boom arms, which was fantastic. I got like a 10-foot shot that looks great coming down onto the stage from this little magic adapter. So make sure that you have a couple of these in your bag as well. So that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff to carry. Oddly, no, other than this, I don't carry the light very often. Everything else will fit inside of a laptop bag, small backpack, stuff like that. Just make sure that you have like a little hard case. The KimaFun mic actually comes with this nice little hard case, and everything should just go right into all the little pockets here. You want this because some of the things like the Tascam and like the Osmo, they shouldn't be just, you know, banging around in your laptop bag. You really want them in some kind of protected covering so they're not getting scratched up more than anything else. So that's the loadout. Links to everything are in the show notes. You'll see them below if you're watching this on YouTube. You'll see it on my blog at ChristopherSPenn.com. Full disclosure, they are all Amazon affiliate links. I'll just say it outright. But you'll find all the pieces that you need if you want to assemble this rig. It's probably like $500 or so. These are pieces I've acquired over time. It's not something I went and bought immediately. If I had to say where to start, you start with the Osmo, which has a pretty good onboard microphone. You start with a tabletop tripod, and you start with a bracket holder to mount the Osmo on. Those are the 3 pieces that you need to start with first, and everything else you can add to later on. So great question, of course. Leave your comments below in the comments box, and of course subscribe to the YouTube channel and to the newsletter. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.